Get started here in just a couple minutes as soon as we get some people in here. In the meantime, trying to log in, but it's not going to let me. Okay. Jim Foster, how are you? Happy to see you again. I was actually going to log into Facebook so I could see this was live, but I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Disruption always follows intention. Awesome. Disruption always follows intention, and I had have an intention of doing these Facebook Lives and trying to do them as good as possible. And something always happens or has in the past. And today is another day. So I go to log into, I was on Facebook earlier. So I log in, no problem. Now I got to log in and it says you need to log in and you need a code and you need to get on your phone and all that. So, hello, beautiful. My lovely bride, Dawn Reed, is on the call. Awesome. We're going to get started here in about a minute. And we're going to get started. And I'm excited. I'm excited. We're going to spend 30 minutes. And if you saw the topic for today, hello, Jen. The topic for today is the 4 questions that the danger in not answering these 4 questions. And there's actually more questions, but these 4 are really the cornerstone. Jan Marie, how are you? Good to see you on. Thank you for joining me. We're going to start here in just a second, and we're going to try to be on time this time. And it's 2 o'clock. Boom! Central America time, which is what? Hi, Mickey, which is Mountain Time, I guess, right now, because the United States changes and we don't. So Don and I, we've got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. We're working on putting together a new podcast for you guys. If you've not watched our other listened to our podcast, it was more of a radio type thing. That was a radio show that was podcast. Anyway, Amazing Living with Don and Lucky. You can find that any podcatcher. That was 6, 7, 8 years ago. We are going to start a new podcast. We're going to do it again. This time we're doing a video podcast. We still need to get the United States to make that happen because we got to get some equipment. But it's all about the things that have happened. Those of you who've been watching Don and I for the last 3 years specifically, you've seen a lot of changes taking place. Hey, Christopher, a lot of changes going on just economically with us, with what we're doing to help people take their lives to the next level. Hi, Tiffany, to take our life to the next level, to help other people take their life to the next level. And we weren't quite ready to get into the podcast yet because, like I said, we have some equipment missing. But that doesn't mean we can't start right now getting people going, getting them changing their mindsets and getting them geared up for some big changes that are taking place. Don and I have made a lot of changes in the way we've been approaching things. You're about to see a lot more. We're going to have a lot more video content coming your way. So let's get right into, why are we doing this? Is to help you guys to start shifting your mindset and start creating some new experiences for yourself. And so 4 questions that the danger in not answering these 4 questions. Number 1 is the first question you need to ask yourself. And I would appreciate it if you guys would put it in the chat for me. What is missing in your life? You need to ask this question. This is a question you need to be constantly asking yourself. Sometimes we do it once a year, but we need to do it. We have 4 questions. Don just put in there. There's 4 questions we're going to have. But the first one is, what's missing in your life? Is it money? Is it time? Is it health? Is it healthy boundaries? Is it a nicer car to drive? Maybe one that doesn't break down. Is it respect? Maybe you're missing some respect. Is that missing in your life? Jen, not enough money to do the things I want to do. Amen on that. Is it a nicer home? Is it admiration? Maybe you're missing some admiration. Maybe you'd like to be recognized for some things you're doing. So what is missing in your life? Is it being surrounded by quality people? For Don and I, that was really, really big. So when we were in, I won't say where we were at. We've been in two places before coming here. In both places, but I remember specifically about 3 years ago. Hey, Royal, Andy, 3 years ago, Don and I, we were on our boat. And I remember we would go on the docks and, we love people. What we don't love is we don't love the negative talk and the crappy, blaming and pointing fingers. And if a nice yacht came in the marina, some of the people that were there in the marina that were living there also would be like just talking crap about them, not even know who they are. They got a big fancy boat. They're obviously multimillionaires. And so they must be a piece of shit. And that was like, and it's like, you don't even know them. They could be really amazing people. In fact, we found out that many of them were amazing. We would invite them over for some wine. And actually one couple we invited over for supper. And it was a couple that people were talking crap because they had a very nice yacht. But the thing is, we didn't want to be around all that negative talk. And so what was missing for us, and I remember this vividly because I remember we were in the salon, we're sitting at the table, and Dawn is upset. She's visibly upset. And what's wrong? And she said, I just want to be surrounded by quality people. So at that time, this was 5 years ago. She said, hey, Aaron, says, I just want to be surrounded by quality people. She was tired of the gossip and the bickering and the blaming and talking about what's going on wrong in the world. In fact, we heard, was it today or yesterday? Gary Vaynerchuk, it was yesterday, Gary V, those of you who know who he is, he said that if you're blaming the sitting president, then you are a fucking loser. If you're not successful and you're blaming the sitting president, you're a loser. And I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care if it's Biden, I don't care if it's Clinton, I don't care if it's Obama, I don't care if it's Bush, it doesn't matter who's in office. If you're blaming them, then you're a fucking loser. Now, why did he say that? And I actually happen to agree with him. And why is that? Because while you're talking about why you can't get ahead and why things are going wrong, there are other people that are doing excellent. Don and I, in the last 3 years, we've had some Trump, we've had some Biden, right? But in the last 3 years, we've done exceptionally well. It didn't matter who's in office. It may change your approach. Stacey Lynn, how are you? Hey, Wanda, it may change your approach, right? There are two different factors. One of our mentors said that there are two factors in life. There are determining factors and there are contributing factors. Who's in office is a contributing factor. You're a woman in a man's world is a contributing factor. There's racism on the world. That's a contributing factor. It is not a determining factor. The determining factor is what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your head. And so what is missing for us was quality people that didn't sit there and judge everybody and criticize everybody and just talk about all the ills of the world, people who are looking and providing solutions. And so that was an intention that we put out there, is what was missing. So there was something else that was missing for us, and it was the money. We were making just enough money to get by. We could get by every month, but there was not hardly anything left over at the end of the month. In fact, for a long time, there wasn't enough. Susan Snyder, how are you? There wasn't enough money coming in. And so we were actually living off of savings. So month after month after month, for over 5 years, we were bleeding out money because we couldn't hardly get ahead. And it seems like the more we worked, the harder we worked, we were making more money, but yet we were falling further behind. And so that is an important question to ask yourself. What is missing in my life? And I would strongly encourage you to write a list down of all the things that are missing in your life. And I'm going to give you an exercise before we go to help you turn that around. Number 2, what's the next question? What lights your ass on fire? What are you inspired by? What would you do if you could have all the money in the world doing what you love to do? What would you do? What really turns you on? For Don and I, hey Douglas, Don and I, for us, it's helping people. It's two things. I'll put them in the right order. Number one, it is living our best life possible. It is living the life that we believe we were meant to live. We believe that when, I don't know if it's a belief, maybe it's a psychological trick. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We got this from another one of our mentors. That I believe when you die, you're going to meet the person that you could have been, the person that God meant you to be. Hey, Tori, the person that God made you to be. The person that when you finally get up to the golden gates and the pearly gates and it's like, wow, this is who you could have been. And what you want to do is when you get there, you want to be that person so that when you meet you, the ultimate version of you, when you meet that person, they look at you and shake your hand or give you a hug and say, great job. You tripped a few times, you stumbled. It was a rough going. I know you made a few mistakes, but look at you made it. And that's what we want. We want to live our best life. We want to live our fullest life. We're not here to make as much money as possible. We're to have as much experiences as possible. Now, that does require money, but it's not about the money. It is about living your fullest life, doing all the things that you were blessed and had the opportunity to do. And God gave you the opportunities. Hey, Kyle, gave you the opportunity to do it. You want to grab the bull by the horns, and you want to do that. So what lights you on fire is what lights us on fire is living that life, number one, so that when we get at the end, we can say, attaboy, good job, awesome. Hey, Wanda Kaiser, how are you? Peyton, how are you? And then the other thing is we want to help as many people live their life, the best life possible too. Ironically, before Don and I met back, over 10 years ago, when Don and I first met, we both had something that we said, and we said it exactly the same way. We said, I want to leave people better. I used to say that all the time. I just want to leave people better. And then Don said it. Now, I've heard a lot of different versions of that, but I've never heard anybody say it that way until I met Dawn. And she's like, I just want to leave people better. And it's like, that's crazy. That's exactly what I've been saying for years. And so our goal is to leave people better. And the one thing that with Dawn and I that really chaps our ass is that we see all of these coaches they go to a webinar, they go to a seminar, they read a book, they go to get a program, and then they go to get certified. Hey, Elijah, they get certified, and then they all of a sudden they're a life coach. And they're not living an amazing life. In fact, a lot of even the top gurus aren't living an amazing life. And I know because I worked with some of them back in the day when I was driving. And you know what they do? They go from their hotel room, they go from their house to an Uber, right, to the airport, and they get in the airport and they fly to their place and they hang out in the airport all day and eat crappy food, and then they get to the hotel and then it's late at night and then they go to bed and then they get up the next morning and they get picked up, by a driver who takes them to the venue that they're going to speak at, and they go to the venue and they speak and they get to be a rock star for a couple hours. They get on stage and they get to talk about all the philosophy and the theories and all of the stuff, and great. And then when they get done, and then they go to lunch, and then they come back, and then they go, after it's all finished, then they go back to the hotel, and then they got to go back the next morning, catch a flight, and then they go to the next city. And this is what they do. Hey, Chris. And they go round and round, and it's back to back. And all they're doing, they're not living an amazing life. They're talking about an amazing life. And I see a lot of this on social media and on YouTube, people talking about it. The people I follow, the people Dawn and I follow, first of all, most of them, Esmeralda, how are you? Most of the people, hey, Neil, that we follow, Ron Jones, look at everybody popping on. The people that we follow, well, 2 of them are billionaires and several of them are hectomillionaires. And why is that? Because they're not talking about what they're doing and how they're doing it. They're showing you that what they have done. Learn from the people who have done it. And so Dawn and I, it's like some people, you can't get in that room. I don't know how many of you have the pleasure, hey, Winston, to be able to, Amber, how are you? Have the pleasure of actually having a billionaire that you can talk to and that you can get ideas from and that you can or hectomillionaires. It's difficult. Grant Cardone, one of the people that we follow, says you have to get in the room. You've got to get in the room. How are you going to get in the room? Some of you can't get in those rooms. We couldn't for the longest time. And now we find ourselves getting in some of these rooms. Hey, Winston, we get into some of these rooms. And if you can't, guess what? You're going to have to find somebody who maybe got in those rooms. And so that's what Dawn and I are doing, is we're trying to share the information with you guys, because it's the stuff that we have changed our life with. It's the stuff that took us from being flat broke, wiped out 3 years ago, a little over a year and a half, less than a year and a half ago, we were actually homeless, got our boat wiped out, and now we've got no place to live, but now we have cash flow, and we went from flat broke to making more money than we've ever made in our life, to having a higher net worth more net worth in 2.5 years than we had accumulated in 40 years of doing it the hard way. And so we want to show people what that is. That's what lights us on fire. So that's question number 2. Hey, Declan. Question number 2 is, what sets you on fire? What gets you up? I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. I went to bed at almost 11 o'clock. So I go to bed at 11 and I'm up at 3. I'm starting to do my morning routine. If you haven't seen that Lucky Live, I did it on the morning routine. And I'm starting on my morning routine. Why? Why would I do that? I don't have I'm not setting an alarm, right? I just get up. Why? Because I'm on fire, because we are on a mission. We're here to try to help as many people as possible. So what lights you on fire? And then I'm going to get to what, if you don't know what lights you on fire, maybe you don't. Here's the thing about what lights you on fire. You all have something, or you've had something. Many of you have had it beat out of you. You have had it coached out of you. You've had it shamed out of you. You've had it guilted out of you. You've had it squeezed out of you. You've had it beat out of you. But it's in there. And some of the beatings and you've had it lied out of you. And some of that has come from yourself. You have lied to yourself. You have beat yourself up. You've gotten your hopes up and you maybe didn't follow through. You have, guys, but it's in there. It's still in there. We know it's in there because we have met so many people that are just so afraid to dream. They're so afraid to put it out there. It's like, what lights you on fire? Oh, nothing. What's missing in your life? Oh, the first question, what's missing in your life? Oh, nothing. You're dead inside. You know what's missing in your life? Life is missing. If nothing is missing, then you're dead, because things are either expanding. This is the nature of the universe. It's either expanding or it's dying. So what lights you on fire? Number 3, here's an important question to ask. Why were you put on earth? Why are you here? Why are you even here? Why are you on this planet? Are you just an oxygen bandit? You were just here were you put here for what purpose? To go to work, to go to school, to get a degree, to get a bullshit job, so that you could go get a little QB, so that you could work 30 years. Eventually you get a corner office and you get a little plaque, on your desk and on the door. Oh my God, I got my own office. And you get to do that for 30 years. And then you get to, I said this, I think last week, and then you get to go in the break room after 30 years and everybody's standing around the break room and they got the cake there, right? And they're clinking their plastic champagne flutes. Hey, retirement, yay. And then you pay your taxes and then you die. Is that the purpose of your life? Do you have a purpose? Do you know what that purpose is? I know you have a purpose. Your purpose may be you're just a shitty example. Maybe that's your purpose. Maybe your purpose is just to show people what not to do. Maybe your purpose is to show people that there are winners and there are losers, and I'm just a loser. And here's the thing. You know what the best part about being a loser is? You already know how to lose. So which means you already know how to win. You know why? Because everything that you're doing to cause yourself to lose, if you just do the freaking opposite of it, you'll win. We were talking about this today in our mastermind group. If you guys want to know how to win, you know how to win. You already know how to win because you know how to lose. Ask yourself this question. What could I do? What are 10 things? Do this, write this a list down. 10 things that I could do that would absolutely guarantee that I will lose. Hey, Genesis, what are 10 things I could do that I guarantee you I could lose in life? Let's see, what are 10 things that I could do to make sure that I lose in life? Well, I could procrastinate. I could be lazy. Hey, Camden, I could stay in bed all day. I could eat junk food. I I could lie. I could be late. I could never show up to anything on time. Hey, Morgan. I mean, there's a million things I could do. I could have a bad attitude. Hi, Ranted. Boy, that's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a while. I could have a bad attitude. I mean, these are things that you can do. If you want to lose, just do these things. Be grumpy, be judgmental. Hey, Lisa, be judgmental, be arrogant, be a know-it-all. There's a perfect way. You want to lose? Be a know-it-all. So okay, now how do I win? If you're so good at all this other stuff, that losing, and most of us are so practiced at it. We're so good at it. Oh, like how many people say they hear an opportunity and they go, that sounds too good to be true. You know why it sounds too good to be true? Because you don't know how to do it. But that attitude keeps you broke. So guess what? If that's your attitude, sounds too good to be true to me. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Hey, Austin, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. That is keeping you broke. That is keeping you stuck. What if instead you said to yourself, well, I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what? This is what the millionaires and deca and hectamillionaires and billionaires do. Show me why this is true. Show me how it works. Many people start off, hey, Matthew, they're not believing it right off the bat. They already don't believe. And so they wonder why they're broke. It's like, that's why you're broke, because you think you know it all. In fact is, if you want to know how to become you want to know how to become a billionaire, ask a broke person. Ask a broker. They know all the reasons why. Oh, he was born lucky. Oh, he got into real estate. Oh, he had help. Oh, he went to good school. Like, oh, they know all the reasons why somebody's rich. Well, if they know so fucking much, hey, Sabrina, if they know so much, then why aren't they doing anything about it? And so that's the next question is, why were you put here? And then my last question, and then I'm going to go into something after that. The last question is, what's stopping you? The things that are missing in your life. Number one, what's missing in your life? What's stopping you from obtaining them? Write it down. Number two, what lights you on fire? What lights your soul on fire? And let me just rephrase that. Not what's stopping you. That's bullshit. What do you think? Underline that word, think. What do I think is stopping me? Write that down, because nothing's stopping you but you. Number three, why were you put on this earth? And what do you think stopping you from fulfilling that purpose? If you believe you were brought here for something, hey, Kayla, if you thought, hey, Dana Lynn, if you believed that you were born for a purpose, and you were, maybe you're just a shitty example and that's what you were born here for and you're doing it and you're doing a great job, then awesome. Then you wouldn't be on this call, because I would be making you vomit by now, I'm sure. Because some of you are probably already gagging a little bit of reflux going on. But it's the truth. And Dawn and I know this is the truth, because we have worked with people that have come in, not even worked with people. We have met people that have come into our proximity, have become friends with us, and we watch them, and people who were just like many others out there that, what's missing in your life? Nothing. I have everything. You really? What do you have? I got a job. It's okay. And I got a fat, lazy husband who doesn't like to do anything, but he keeps the bills paid. And what's missing in your life? Nothing. I got kids, and they just experiment with drugs, and on and on and on and on and on and on. Something's missing in your life. And you think there's something stopping you from it, and there's nothing stopping from it. There's nothing stopping you from living the life that's on fire, except for you believe there is, and why you were put on this earth. And then the last one, of course, what is stopping you? And then I want to just close out with what I said before. We already know how to lose. We already know that if we're lazy, if we don't show up on time, if we make excuses, if we lie to ourselves, if we lack self-esteem, well, what's stopping me from living the life of my dream? I don't have any self-esteem. Okay, interesting. How do you think you would get self-esteem? I'll tell you one reason why you don't have any self-esteem. Because you believe you're the only person on this planet who has heard every single lie you've ever told yourself. You've heard every lie. You were going to start this, you were going to do that, you were going to do this, and you didn't follow through, and you didn't follow through. You're going to start a new business, and you did it for 3 weeks, and you quit. You were going to start selling online, and then that didn't work, and you quit. On and on and on and on. And then here's the other thing, and I talked about this, I think, last week or maybe a couple of weeks ago. It was about getting yourself in a mastermind group or in a collective group of like-minded people. This was a question that came up, I think it was last week. And it was, what is the number one thing of the people that we have in our mastermind? By the way, that mastermind is open to anybody now. For 3 years, this has been a private group with only private selected and invited people to come into our mastermind. There's about a dozen people in that group. We are now opening it up for anybody who wants to do it. There is a charge for that. If you want to know more, I'll put up some links here in just a minute. But what was the number one thing that people in our group and our mastermind said was the reason for the success? We just had a woman in our group who just did her first video ever, and she was terrified, and she went outside in her backyard and she took her phone and she's recording. It's like we have somebody who joined Toastmasters, like on and on and on. People jumping out of their comfort zone. So how do you create self-esteem? Is what's stopping me. Really? What happened? What do you think happens when you do things that challenge break out of your comfort zone? You do things that you're not so awful comfy doing. Like I'm doing this right now, talking into a camera. I can talk to people one-on-one, but talking to a camera to a group of people was not a comfortable thing for me. And I'm still not completely comfortable, but I'm getting better and I'm getting, what do you think's happening? My confidence. Can you tell anybody who's been on my first Lucky Live? Is there a difference between what I'm talking now and the way I'm talking then? Is there a difference between how I talk now? There's a couple of people in here that I see are in our mastermind. Am I talking different now here than I do in mastermind? Or am I a little bit even more concise in mastermind? I speak better in mastermind. Why? Because I'm really, really comfortable in that environment, and I'm not comfortable here. Well, guess what's happening? I'm getting confidence because I'm doing it more and more and more. And so if you're lacking confidence, these are all things that you can accomplish. And then it also helps if you have that group of support. And that was the thing. That's why I went back to this. Our people said the number one thing was having a group of people that were all loving and supportive and helping them to grow and cheering them on and helping them when they trip. And it's like, yeah, okay, it wasn't the best, but you know what? You did it. And that was awesome. And you'll get better. And guess what? I can't wait to see what next week. And I'll bet you money that it's better next week, because I know you're learning, and boom. And on and on and on. And it's so powerful. So anyway, I want to encourage you guys to go through that list. If you caught this midstream, go back to the beginning, watch this over. What's missing in your life? What set your life on fire? Why were you put on this earth? And what do you think is stopping you? And then here's another one. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? If you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. And so I encourage you guys to make that list and start looking at the things that you believe are standing in your way, and then start looking. And I promise you, there are answers everywhere. There are answers on YouTube. There's a little dumpster diving that goes on there, but there are answers in YouTube. There are mentors all over the place. If you want to make faster progress than YouTube, then hire a coach, or hire a coaching program, or hire a mentor, or get into a mastermind group, or what. Like, find the people that can help you develop the skills, because life doesn't give you what you want. Life doesn't. It's going to heartbreak you guys. Life doesn't give you what you want. It doesn't give you what you pray for either. It doesn't give you what you wish for. You know what life gives you? Life gives you the people, the situations, the opportunities, even the bullshit, and even the heartbreaks that are necessary for you to become the person that you need to be in order to have that life you want. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you all those life opportunities, challenges, the people, the situations, the information, the education. It gives you all that stuff, but you got to do it. God will do his part, but you got to do your part. And your part is taking the action and taking the steps. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope it's got you a little bit fired up. I hope you dig in. I hope you ask these questions and then start looking for the answers. Seek and ye shall find. Anybody heard that one? Seek and ye shall find. You will find it. Don and I are proof. We were down and out. And if you look at our history back about 15 years ago, Dawn and I both at the same time, we didn't know each other back then, living in different states, about the same time, we're both suicidal. Oh my God. I can't even imagine. We were both ready to take our own lives. Think of what the tragedy that would have been. Think of how many lives we would have not been able to touch and change, including our own. We are living now with more with passion than we ever had before. We are on fire. And that would be gone because we didn't, if we'd have just gave up. But we asked the question, what's the problem and where do I find the answer? And we started looking and the answer started showing up for us, and they will show up for you too. So I just want to put up real quick. If you guys do not, if I can find my mouse, because I don't have this wire hooked up. If you want to, who is, well, just go on the website. There's links for the
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
When you put that,
Yeah.
okay, now that your mic is back, you lost your mic.
Oh, I know why. Okay, gotcha. It makes sense. All right. Well, I'm going to work on that. I was throwing this together at the last second. So, AmazingLiving.net. Hopefully you captured that. I'm going to put another one up real quick. So AmazingLiving.net. That's our website. We also have links for all of the equipment that we use. And tune in next week, and I'll have this stuff dialed in a little bit better. And so the equipment that we use is going to be on there. Also, if you, here's a big one. So here in about 1 hour from now. Oh, no, my bad. That won't be in an hour. Tomorrow morning, all things go well, we are going to be start doing our live Money Talk financial freedom webinars. We are going to be doing those. Those will be on 3 times a day, 4 times a day. I can't remember. But we're going to be doing the financial freedom webinar, sharing our story about what we did, what we went through, and how we got out, and how we ended up where we are now, and how we're living the life we're living now. And we go through all of that. And we talk about the rules of the rich and everything. That is going to be, write this down. Hopefully you got that. PathToFreedom.net. That should be up and running tomorrow. So we are actually doing some beta testing today. And tomorrow that should be up. So if you guys want to start attending that webinar, Financial Freedom, Path to Freedom webinar, that is going to be up. And we're going to be doing those several times a day. And then last of all, if you guys want to know anything specific, you want to ask us any questions, if you want to know how to get on our email list for our, we put our library together, just set up a call on our website, callwithlucky.com. That is our Calendly website. And you can go to Calendly, book a call if it's already adjusted for your time zone, and just book a call and we'll sit down and talk. We can also, if you want to know, how do I get in the mastermind? If you want to get in the mastermind, there is a vetting process. We want to make sure, like, is this really what you want to get into? Are you really committed to that? How serious are you? How serious are you about changing your life? How serious are you about making more money? How committed are you? Is this something you just like to have? Or is this something that you absolutely have to do something? You have to change, because that's where we were 3 years ago. We have to change. And in doing so, we have completely revamped our life. And with that, I'm 1:40 over. Sorry about that. Again, it happens, but just a lot of stuff. I just want to give you guys as much as I can and hopefully get you inspired that every one of you, you don't have to be a bad example. You can be the best thing that happened. You can be the one that changes your entire family's life. You can change your entire family's financial life. You can change all of the dynamics. Dawn and I have done it in our own lives, and we've seen this happen over and over and over again. And with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me. I hope you got something out of this. I hope that it's got you fired up. Love you all. Until next week, see you then. And if you guys, one last thing. What do you want me to tell you about? What do you want to know about us? What can we do to help you get to the next level? I'll talk about all of this stuff. So you just let me know and we will put it out here and we will do a Lucky Live on your topic. So just either put it in the chat or the best way to do it is just reach out to Dawn or I on Messenger. And with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me. It was awesome seeing all you guys. We've got more people coming on every week. That's awesome. Love you. Have a great weekend. And we're getting ready to go do happy hour with our people. And I'm really excited about that too. And so if you get in our mastermind, then you can also come in our happy hours, and they're a blast. They're awesome. We celebrate all the wins for the week, and it's all kinds of wins: business wins, money wins, relationship wins, fat loss wins. I've already lost 50 pounds. If you can't tell, not just 50 pounds. What'd you say, Don? You know, getting the guns back again. You know, sleeves are getting a little snug on the arms there. But anyway, bye.